Hey guys, it's the Squishy Monster, and today I'm going to use fresh local honey to make a honeyed banana loaf. It's going to have a moist and tender crumb, and we're going to also blend it together with some yogurt. So stick around and I'll show you exactly how to do it. The first thing I want to work on are my bananas. So in my bowl I've mashed some really well-ripened bananas, and it's important because it's going to help develop a really intense and rich banana flavor. And I've just mashed them with a fork just like this, and I like to keep them pretty chunky so you can have those bits of banana going through your bread. And then this part's going to sound a little funny, but it's really going to help develop another dimension of flavor, and I'm going to sprinkle in some pumpkin spice. It's got all the necessary yummy and pungent flavors. I'm going to mix that in. It's got the cloves and the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and all of that's really freshly ground and put together, and I'll provide that on my blog, thesquishymonster.com. So just mix that really well into your mashed bananas, and then I want to drip in my honey. And I'm using some local honey from Skinny J Farms, and I'm actually doing a giveaway, so don't forget to like them on Facebook at facebook.com/or/Skinny J Farms. I'll provide that link. And I'm going to drip that into my bananas. I'm going to let all of that just kind of marry and blend together. I'm again implementing the 2-bowl process, just to whittle it down for ease and accessibility. So this is bowl number 2, which is where all my wet ingredients are going to be. In bowl number 1, I've already measured and weighed out and sifted together my dry ingredients, which just comprises of unbleached flour and some baking soda, some salt, and I've already, like I said, just kind of sifted that together. And just for a boosted added nutrition, I'm going to sprinkle in some flaxseed powder. You don't have to do this, and I'm going to set this aside. So to bowl number 2, I've got my eggs that are come to room temperature. To that I want to sprinkle in my granulated sugar, and I want to blend that together. To that I want to add in my oil, and that's canola oil or veggie oil, whatever is neutrally tasting and that you have available to you. And then some yogurt, and I'm using whole full fat yogurt. Next to last, I just want to tip in some pure vanilla extract. And then my honeyed bananas. Just kind of slip that right in there. It's going to taste and smell wonderful because of all those spices that are in there. And then the honey's going to really naturally accent the sweetness of the bananas. So kind of slide all of that in there, get a good spatula and scrape it all into that bowl number 2 and blend together. So bowl number 2 is ready and blended well together, and when you add in your bowl number 1, which is your dry ingredients, this is when you want to keep in mind not to overmix, because that's going to overwork the glutens and make a really tough cake, and you want something soft, tender, and moist. So sprinkle that in there in about thirds. So in 3 separate portions, I want to begin to slowly incorporate the dry bowl number 1 to bowl number 2. To ensure that it won't stick, I have double sprayed it down really well and greased it with some butter, and I've also got it kind of lined with a slip of parchment just to ensure, double ensure. And then I'm going to kind of pour in my batter into this loaf pan and bake it off. My loaf has been out of the oven for about 15 minutes or so. I just wanted it to slightly cool so I could handle it. I want to take a knife and I want to run it through the edges of the pan, making sure not to scratch it. You just want to kind of loosen the edges up just a little bit. But remember, we greased and buttered the whole thing, and then we lined it with just a little slip of parchment, so it should come right out. Let's see. And then I want it to allow to cool on my, whatever you're using, a platter or I'm using a cutting board. You want it to cool for a little bit longer before you slice into it. To enter my giveaway to get a chance to win a jar of this golden delicious local fresh honey, all you have to do is like them on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Skinny J Farms, and be subscribed to this cooking channel as well. I'll provide those links below. This is what I used to whip up this beautiful banana loaf, and it's still warm to the touch. I'm going to tear off a piece of the top because that's where it's still hot and sticky. See how it tastes. Moist and tender crumb, and that golden honey really does such a beautiful job of complementing those nice spices and the rich bananas. Beautiful and delicious. I hope you guys give this a try. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. This was the Squishy Monster, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!